Hey, Pray family. This is Dirk Smith, Vice President of EEM. I wanted to say a special thank you for watching EEM on Pray TV. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to check out EEM's 5511 podcast and follow my profile for faith-stirring content to see how God is powerfully moving across this globe. Today, I want to offer you a devotional thought that I hope will help encourage your faith and challenge you and me to be more like Jesus. Let's be honest. Waiting is hard. It's frustrating, uncomfortable, and sometimes just plain exhausting. When we're in a season of waiting, it's easy to wonder if God has forgotten about us or if he's even paying attention. We want answers, we want direction, and we want relief, and we want them now. But here's the thing. Waiting isn't a sign that God is absent. It's actually an invitation to trust him more deeply. If we look at the Bible, some of the most incredible stories of God's faithfulness, they happened in seasons of waiting. Abraham waited 25 years for God's promise of a son. Joseph spent years as a slave and in prison before his God-given dreams came true. David was anointed a king, but had to wait years before actually taking the throne. And let's not forget the 400 years of silence between the Old and the New Testaments before Jesus, the ultimate promise, arrived. So why does God make us wait? 3 reasons. Number 1, waiting reveals what's in our hearts. When we have to wait, we realize how little control we actually have. And that can be scary. But it also forces us to ask, do I trust God or do I trust him to do what I want? Waiting refines us. It strips away impatience, pride, and self-reliance, leaving behind a deeper dependence on him. Number 2, waiting makes us stronger. Isaiah 40:31 says, "Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." The word renew means exchange. Exchange our weakness for his strength, our exhaustion for his energy, our hopelessness for his joy. Waiting isn't passive. It's an active dependence on God. And number 3, waiting prepares us for what's next. Sometimes we think we're ready for what we're asking for, but God knows better. There's growth and preparation that needs to happen first. Think about a farmer. He's planting seeds. There's a long, quiet stretch between planting and harvesting. But in that time, the seed is transforming under the soil. Waiting is where God does his deepest work in us. So if you're in a season of waiting, know this. God sees you, he hears you, and he hasn't forgotten you. Waiting is not punishment, and it's not pointless. It's part of his plan. And it's part of his plan to draw you closer to him, to shape your character and get you ready for what's ahead. You may not understand why you're waiting, but you can trust this. His timing is perfect, his plans are good, and he is faithful. So don't give up. Don't try to rush ahead of him. Instead, lean in. Talk to him about your frustration, your doubts, your weariness. He can handle it, and he'll meet you right where you are. For 60 years, EEM has published, printed, and distributed Bibles and Bible-based materials into 30-plus nations and in 20-plus different languages. As a result of 7 couples, they were in their 20s, no children yet, young marrieds, and they make the decision to pursue souls for Jesus, to travel to a foreign land where they've never been, in a foreign language that they didn't know, only to find out that nobody behind the Iron Curtain, as it was called at the time, had Bibles in their language.
The power to change the world is right here.
So Gwen Hensley, who really started EEM, came back and said, we have to change what we're doing. We have to provide God's word in people's languages. And people joined forces. There was amazing partnership. People paying to get the printing press up and going. And we stand on their shoulders. Who would have thought? What started as a smuggling operation where they were thrilled to get 100 Bibles across a border, we're now driving tractor truckloads. We're printing in those very countries that forbid the Bible from being distributed. We're actually putting their people to work, and they're printing the Bible. We're putting Bibles in public schools.
in the nation of Ukraine, not at our request, at their request. And they're teaching the Bible as curriculum. It's happening in Hungary. It's now happening in Croatia, Romania, Bulgaria. It's spreading like wildfire. In Matthew 28, Jesus' call to us is to make disciples. See, we believe providing someone God's Word is the first step in making disciples. Like our tagline says, the Bible, we want everyone to get it.